Welcome, everybody. Glad you're here. Just wanted to get that right out there today. I appreciate my channel members. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate anybody who comes into a live stream or watches a video. I just want to say a special thank you to my channel members. That's what that's for. All right, so let's get right to this today. Glad to see you too, Kaylee. Thank you, everybody, for your prayers and your positive thoughts. Okay, so of course, Friday I had the surgery, and I go there, and I breezed right through it, by the way, and I didn't have to spend the night, as most of you may know. I did not have to spend the night. I got to come home, sleep in my own bed. I wake up and make me and Richard some breakfast the next morning. That's true. Simple, but yeah. No, hey, Box ND, Thrifty Angela. So everything went great. The pain that he went in there to fix, which went down the whole back side of my left side of my body and over the top of my left thigh, is gone 100%. I have a miracle worker neurosurgeon whom I love with my whole heart. It's like surgery number 12. He's kept me walking. He's kept me moving. He keeps my pain under control. And by the way, I haven't taken pain medicine since the day before yesterday. Even the surgery part of it, there's just really no pain. It's just not that big of a deal. So I'm really happy. I put the pain medication away. I took it that first night and the first day I was home. But after that, I don't need it anymore. So, yep, I'm doing well. All right, now just to get Richard in for his. But again, he's going to have to quit smoking cigarettes. You cannot be smoking nicotine and get back surgery, to get spinal surgery. It doesn't heal. It's the number one reason that those surgeries are not successful. And so I understand it's so addictive, and he's highly addicted. And he'll be down to like one cigarette twice a day, and he just cannot get past that. So be praying for Richard to be able to quit again. All right, so let's see who's here to start things off. Catherine Cook, hello. Thank you for coming, Catherine. Miss you and Homer a lot. Of course, Kaylee, thank you for being here. Much, much appreciated. I think it's a good topic, too. I'll tell you what happened here yesterday. I thought my household was going to explode. I live with 3 men and this little teeny tiny niece who is not here much. Yeah, I thought it was going to come apart, helter-skelter at the seams. Ashley's World, thank you for coming with the raid. Thrifty Angela, I think I said hello, but hello to you, my friend. And then we've got Scott Jacobs in appreciation. Scott is a wonderful fella, and I was so glad I got to meet you. Roy and Becky, good show today. Thank you for coming over. And Shanna Craft. Thank you, Shanna. I so appreciate you. Let's see what else we got going on down here. I'm Box Van D, of course. Thank you. Thank you so much. Just don't want to miss anybody. And you know how this will just, all of a sudden, 10 names have gone by you. All right, so I want to thank everybody. And if you could do me a favor, if you could get the thumbs up done, if you haven't already had a chance to do it. And also, if you would like to share this out on your social media, on your community tab, I would very much appreciate it. All right, I think that's all the housekeeping. So right now in Eugene, Oregon, I'll tell you why I wanted to do this. So yesterday we got to 110. We have never been 110. Never been not since my mother passed away 30 years ago and her temper left. Have we been 110? Okay, so we have not been 110 in a long, to my knowledge, never. and it jumped 10 degrees, I think is what my son-in-law said. It jumped 10 degrees from the day before. Now we're back down to a manageable level, but I went outside to see what it was like. Nobody, I can't lift anything right now, and I wanted to put a chair in the sun, but nobody would help me get a chair out into the sun. My family did not want me to sit in the sun. I just thought, I'm going to sit in the sun for a little while, 20 minutes. I realized 110-degree heat on this fair complexion and high humidity is a disaster waiting to happen, which I've had happen a couple times in my life because I get massively bad burns. I mean, I don't even see anything red enough in here. This is kind of a pinkish red. It's just not, it was, oh, here's my hair dryer. The red on my hair dryer is a good representation of the last massive burn I had, and that was because we were fishing, and I kept putting water on my face and my arms because I was so hot, and I had on a tank top, but it had the spaghetti strap tank top thingy, and it was cut lower, but I got burned on I was wearing those pedal pusher pants, and so I got burned from about a quarter of the way up my leg down. And then just horrific. My arm got an infection in it from being burned so bad, and I had to go on antibiotics. It was not fun. And anytime I turned over in bed, Richard would have to put aloe vera on me. So yeah, I do need to stay out of the sun if I can. But you know what? I like the sun. I like the vitamin D. I feel better when I'm in the sun. Now, I do not want to live in 120-degree heat. I don't want to live in this 110-degree heat. But for a few days, it wasn't going to kill me. All right. So let's see what it is right now. So yesterday it was 110. I thought that people in my household who shall remain unnamed, my son Brent, we're going to have a conniption fit. I thought Brent, my son Brent, hello Priscilla, my little sister is here. Call me V. Hello, V. Hello, thank you for coming. I thought that my son was going to have a heart attack, and not from the heat, but because ever since that he's a man now, ever since he was a little boy, he has hated the heat. He would go to school in the winter in shorts and no jacket, and he didn't get sick, at all from that. But in kindergarten and first grade, I would get calls home from the teacher. Miss Lake, do you know that your son is here without a coat? And by the way, he's in shorts. I do know that. I do know that. And I don't know what to say other than he has a broken thermostat. And so, yeah. You burn the same. Oh, yeah, I can tell, Angela. You're very fair skinned and you've got the strawberry blonde hair. And my little sister and I both, Priscilla has way redder hair than I do, very red. Need to apply zinc powder. I've heard something about zinc powder. I don't know if it was zinc powder, but something to do with zinc. Get SPF 50 rash guard. So I have like a 70, although I've heard over 30 doesn't even work. I don't know. I just don't know. All right, so today we're going to see what it is today. So I told Brent, I said, Brent, honey, this is not going to last forever. I promise. It feels like it's going to last forever. But it's not. It's just that day happened, and I don't think we're going to have another 110 day. So I just recommended he breathe and that he calm down and take his claws out of the ceiling because I didn't cause it. I can't control it. And by the way, I cannot fix it. Yeah. She has pink Priscilla's my little sister, and very pink undertones. V. I go outside 3 hours a day. When I started wearing zinc powder, I never got a sun. Oh my gosh. I will have to look into that. Okay, so yes, actually, Kaylee, we're going to talk about all of those kind of things. Hey, Box and D back. So Maxie, I know you've got that sweet dog. Yes, they do require care. I will say, having patty cake with us when we were in quartzite, and then also when we camped elsewhere, it is extra work, by the way. I didn't necessarily do it. Richard is the caretaker of Patty when we're out. He can get in and out quicker and easier than I can. Now, it's not that I didn't take her out, because I certainly did and I certainly can, but he just, he slept in his clothes the 7 weeks we were gone from home. He did not one time sleep in his underwear, t-shirt, nothing. He slept fully dressed, so he would be ready at all times to take Patty out. I said, you could slip on a pair of pajama bottoms you have. He said, we're going to be around other people. Oh, God. So, anyways, he's low maintenance compared to people. I understand that. I do understand that, D. All right, so I'm going to share the screen real quick. Let's take a peek at how warm it is right now, and we'll just start with that. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Video file. I did it wrong again. I do know how to do this. There we go. Chrome tab. Okay, so it's 95 today. It's 95, I guess, or it's going to be 95, which makes sense. We do get 95 to 105 degree weather in Eugene, in the Willamette Valley. But again, one of the reasons people hate it here so bad is because we have high humidity. And I know it was like 58% humidity just not too long ago. All right, so tomorrow will be 88. 86, 88, 90, 93. So we're not going to have over mid 90s again this week. That really was a fluke. I don't know that the devil went down to Georgia. I think the devil came to Eugene, Oregon, Willamette Valley, because that was a hellacious heat. All right. So I was thinking about last night, I did not think I was going to have my welcome to hell, Priscilla. Yes, I hear you. 104. Wow. That is mild, D. That's much more mild than 117 to 120. Traveling Dingbats, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm so happy you're here. Happy you're here. Make sure I didn't miss anybody else. So last night I was thinking, so what am I? Hello, Timmy Ray the King. Glad you're here. Thank you for coming. I know you were over at Roy and Becky's earlier. The 3 digits, too much for me anywhere. So it is, well, actually, Kaylee, I did not get burned. Hello, little bit crazy. I didn't get the kind of burns I get here at home when I was at quartzite. I just didn't. And I got color. I got a lot of color. And Oregon stole it. I had a nice ring around my wrist, and where I wore my anticoagulation. I have to take a blood thinner, and so it's kind of necessary that medical workers in an emergency know that I take a blood thinner. It broke though. So anyways, I wore it around my wrist, and you could see that was white, and I was very, very a lot of color. And I told Priscilla, I said, let's see how long it takes Oregon to steal that from me. And it did. In quartzite, I got no major burn, and I got a lot of color. And again, so I started reading about that last night, and it is because of the humidity. High humidity is what causes the burns. That is the, the water in the air. And so then I was kind of thinking about some other things to do with summer. And I thought, we can't be the only people whose household is coming unglued because of abnormal high heats. Priscilla, can you even fathom Brent yesterday? By the end of the day, he was going to lose his mind. Have to be outside to keep up the tan. Well, again, it would be a whole different color, burn here if I was outside every day. You stay in the truck 90% of the time, Dee. But you do have, you have your AC, and I'm so glad so I understand, since I watch you, I watch your stuff, that you are staying, you have rented a spot, kind of like a helipad, I'll call it, where you just kind of hang out for a while. You've got your AC, your electricity you pay separate, and I thought it was like under $300 for a month, and then your electricity on top of that, but that your electricity was pretty inexpensive. I think you said $45, something like that, which is, well, hello, Robert Mack in Asia. Which is very cheap, because I can tell you that is not what it's going to be for our household. We've got an air conditioner in my bedroom window because our central air does not work. We have to have it fixed. And that's going to be coming about hopefully by the fall. So we have a good heating for the winter, which we do, but it's just the AC that's broke. It's an older train. My dad had put in about 20 to 25 years ago, and they don't last forever. Trains run for a long time, but not forever. And so there's AC in my window, an AC in the boys' windows, and the kitchen window, and then out in the garage where my niece lives, by the way, with no insulation in the wall and an air conditioner running. 200 plus, yeah, that's what I thought. That is a fantastic. I'd even stay there. I know, Priscilla, it's a rock pile, but it's a homey rock pile there in Quartzite area. So AC, yeah, I can imagine 24/7. So we had all the ACs cranked up. Well, unfortunately, I ran the microwave. And my son-in-law came out of the bedroom very, very scared, because he doesn't want to overheat either. And he's been in super high heat one time in his life, and it didn't work out for him so well. And so I was panic stricken, like, I swear I did not mean to cause this to happen. And so we flipped the breaker back on, and yeah, I hear you, Zilla. And so then the light in the dining room, which is where my office is, okay? It's my one space in the house where I have been moved to, by the way. I didn't choose it. So I flipped that light on, and it flipped the breaker again. You would think that I was out to get them. Right. That's what I want to be doing, is having full-grown men breaking down over the summer heat. Jill Weatherly, hello. Thank you for remembering my acronym, BUTTER. All right. So, yeah, I was thinking about what are some of the ways we can. So, first of all, what is this all about? I really don't know. And if anybody has the answer, feel free to come up and tell us why we're having this insane heat, and I will be glad to drop a link for you. So as hot, let's see as hot as Arizona is right now, I so wish I was back there. Oh, okay. So you like the heat. So is there anybody else who really likes the heat? They just really relish it. They get into it. They enjoy it. I used to have a friend many, many, many moons ago. I don't even know if Brent was alive. And she lived in an apartment complex that I managed, and she was this very tall, beautiful, model looking woman, very modelish body, you know, very tall, very thin, as brown as you could imagine. And she wasn't brown other than she had the pigment to tan, but she just couldn't get brown enough. She could not tan enough. And one time I was going through the park. We have a park here on the river, a park system on the river here in Eugene. And I looked over and I saw Linda was her name. And I stopped my car and I said, Linda? And she put her head up and pulled her head up. And I went over the outdoor adventures with Ron. Thank you for coming so much. Very glad you're here. And here's this beautiful lady out in the park, totally blocking out the world around her in a bikini, as bikini as they come. And I said, now, Linda, you do know, honey, that there are freaks here in the park once in a while, and you just be very, very careful. And so, and there is Vicki, Victoria May, Life Unfiltered, and she may not be having her, she said to pass this around. She's having trouble. She had I think had to send her computer back or something. So she may not be having her Wednesday night karaoke chat for a couple of weeks, but you'll get a thumbnail if she's going to, of course. So outdoor Ron believes it's better than the cold. My little sister will take a snowstorm in the middle of July. Except for the 4th of July. We like to celebrate the 4th of July. That's coming up here in a few days. Our father would be 96 today if he had not passed last year. He passed in April. He would have been 95 on the 4th of July. And we always celebrate his birthday. So, which we like to have a nice 4th of July. So then I was thinking about, so what are some of the ways to cool down? And I'm going to pull that up here. I started looking around ways other than an air conditioner, because we all know an air conditioner. That's what I go to. Let's pull out the air conditioners, run our utility bill up to $700, and see if we can't get our utilities shut off. Just kidding. No, please God. No, the grown-ups in the house, me and Josh, are worried about it. Josh and I are very much worried about the utility bill. It's going to be outrageous. These are not new. You know, we got these used on Marketplace. So they're not like, well, visit Eugene. I would love to have you come and visit. Seriously. Seriously, I would love to have you come and visit. There's another YouTuber that lives in this town, and I don't know if they're been real open about it, so I'm not going to say who they are, but she and I are going to get together and do a meetup. Water plus fans. Dee, you know one of the keys. You know one of the keys. So here's what I found. I hope this is the right one. Oh, no, this is issues with heat. So, well, so I guess I want to make sure that you're seeing this, first of all. Yep, you're seeing it. All right, issues with heat. The higher the humidity, of course, the hotter it feels because it makes it harder for us to sweat. So for some reason, high humidity keeps us from sweating and we feel hotter, which kind of that makes sense. I know what it feels like for me when I'm in the heat here. Feeling hot or flushed is a common symptom of anxiety. So one of the problems when, like Brent last night, was literally hyperventilating almost himself into a panic attack over this. Really, a panic attack. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger. And so now I understand, you know, he was invoking that fight or flight, the whole fight or flight, freeze or fawn response, which is the body's way of preparing for perceived danger. And he really was feeling that it was a danger. He does not like to get too warm. So then I read about how hot it is. You know, where do humans kind of, it's not real good for us. So, you know, we can function between 90 and 105, but you can actually expect what they call heat cramps and exhaustion. Now, I know that my dad worked outside off and on all of his life. He was also a fireman. Richard has worked outside most of his life. My brother-in-laws have worked in the environmental. I have a nephew who is a contractor here in the area. Ryan works outside off and on. And I suspect that at times they get that sense of heat cramps or exhaustion. And I know Richard has mentioned having cramps in his legs in the past after working outside. The hottest place on Earth, of course, is Death Valley, California. And the highest degree it's ever hit is 134 in 1913. 134. Does anything even really live there? Dee, do you know if anything lives there? Because I can't fathom how anybody could be in anything close to 134 degrees. All right, so now I'm going to bring up what I was originally looking for. All right, and make sure I'm seeing this. Y'all are seeing this. Nope, you're not seeing it. So I have to go back here. And I need to share the screen. Share the screen. Window. All right, staying cool without air conditioning. And that's really what I wanted to really talk about, because I do know that not everybody has air conditioning, and that it's easy to stay cool with air conditioning, obviously. So some of the things are common sense, keeping the windows closed and covered. Just like I'm sure that if you're, living off grid, you're using Reflectix. That's just a great example of when I was concerned about this a little bit, if it was going to go on for several days, I would start thinking in those terms personally. Now, we do have our blinds shut in the living room. I have dark curtains in my bedroom. We have everything shut down. Shut and insulate your doors. Don't use the oven. Yeah, that was another thing. Brent's like, he was going to move because his room, his man cave is the family room. And so he was going to move that out of there, because connected to it is the kitchen, and there's an oven in the kitchen, and it was used yesterday, not by me. That was his hubby. Swapping out light bulbs. So there are light bulbs that are less heat producing, and I can't think of what they're called, but we have them in the family room. Here's the problem with those. So whenever we turn on the air conditioner on the side of the house, that when we turn on Brent's air conditioner, which is on the other side of his bedroom, air conditioner is right on the other side of the wall to the dining room, and the lights start flickering. Scared the crapola out of me. The lights flickering are not something, I don't trust that. So me and Josh just said, we got to change those lights back out. So use fans the right way. Now, I wasn't really sure what that was all about. So use fans the right way. And I'm assuming we're coming up to it. Managing humidity. And oh God, how did that just happen? Well, good Lord. All right. Managing humidity. And I know there are dehumidifiers that one can get. And I know that those things are more and more being made for to be able to plug in, not to a wall socket, but I can't think of what it's called, where you're off grid. All right. Let the night air in. So open up doors. Now, we don't have a screen door on the front any longer, but I could tell you the first chance I get, I'm getting an inexpensive screen door, just like we used to have. It does not have to be anything fancy. Wearing light clothing. I'm wearing a peach colored tank top today for a reason. Light clothing. Now this one I'd never thought about, keeping south and west windows closed and shaded. South and west windows closed and shaded. The whole front of our house faces south. Turning on ceiling fans. Drink plenty of fluids, staying hydrated, even when you don't feel thirsty. That's a very important piece of it. Keep cool by seeking out places that have shade. Think about that. Go to a park. So I was watching Minnie Van Lee this morning. I was watching her show, and she is in a park in Reno and gets up early and does her walking, gets all of her exercising in, blah, blah, blah. And lots of shade trees around there. I was thinking, boy, she's lucky since she lives out of her minivan. Wet towels. So we also have here, I saw Brent with a thing of vegetables, frozen vegetables on top of his head. On top of his head. Wet towels that are frozen. There's also these, I'll show you these other towels here in just a minute. But the wet towels, put them in the freezer, because you also can do that for physical therapy needs. Take a hand towel, get it nice and wet, wring it out good, fold it into thirds, and then fold it up and put it in the freezer. And then when you take it out, you can use it for, to cool down with, or to use it as an ice pack. Okay, take cool showers and baths. That would be obviously a nice cold shower is always good for that. Set a bowl full of ice in front of a table fan. I bet you do this, Dee, or something like this. As the ice melts, the fan will blow the cooler air toward you. So yeah, that's really nice. So also remember to check in on others, just like we've done during the winter time. Anybody that we know that's fragile. How you doing, Priscilla? Just kidding. Anybody who's fragile, who has issues with hot and cold, check in on them. We have a neighbor lady across from us whose husband recently died. I've known her since I was about 12. And she's there by herself now. Her kids do come and check on her. But anyways, check in on those people. And living out in the desert. I mean, I'm sure, Dee, that the community of people around where you're at are kind of always got an eye out for one another. So this was another take a cold shower, but use products with peppermint essential oils. Bonner's peppermint soap is the gold standard, and it will leave you with a coolness after you're done showering. And if you just pat dry, don't dry off harsh, leave a little bit of coolness on your skin. And right here, the most effective way to regulate your body temperature is to stuff your body full of cooling fluids and liquids, foods and liquids. So we have popsicles here, the freeze pops, and I had about 19 of them yesterday. No, I did not have 19. Josh kept saying, or I think it was Josh, said I had 19. He's full of crap. So it's more effective, more efficient to cool ourselves off from the inside out rather than the outside in. And one of those ways is to keep a water bottle in the refrigerator or the freezer. I've got a big thing of coffee in my freezer right now. I will be sipping on that all day long. And freezing, I do this all the time. Fill freezer safe bottles partway with water or whatever, then freeze them. And I do that so that I just put some cold water in there and then boom, they're ready to go. All right, here's a really nice idea. If you have a little bit of money to spend, you can get one of the gel pillows or one of the pillows and sheets that wicks away moisture and keeps things cool. And I've seen those all over the place, and they do have them at many different price points. You don't have to buy something that's $100. Draping a cool wash, we already talked about that. Draping a cool washcloth over your neck, wrist, inside your elbows, or the back of your knees, any place where you feel it's going to help cool you down. Never underestimate the power of getting naked and ever so slightly damp. Combine a little bit of dampness with the fan or a do-it-yourself air conditioner and you're sitting next to and have a recipe for relaxing treat, just make sure your blinds are closed. Okay, if you're gonna have a treat and sit there naked, please, it's just a safety alert. Make sure that your blinds are shut. And the key, of course, is to make sure it's not too humid. All right, so those are some of the ways I came up with to keep. Let's see if I have anybody left here after that little presentation. I need to go back up here for a moment. Let me go back, rolling. All right. So that's some of the ways that I found. So another thing, and I'm sure, Dee, anybody else has got animals, camping therapy. Thank you for coming, Doreen. I spent a day playing I watched several. So camping therapy. Could somebody drop her link for me, please? Doreen has a kind of a niche channel of vintage RVs. That's the word I was trying to get out of my mouth. Vintage RVs. And adorable. She went to a meetup of vintage RVers, I think a week ago or something like that, and brought back really good stuff. And just all of her stuff about vintage RVs is great. So if you could drop her link, and if you do not know who Camping Therapy is, go over, check her out. I highly recommend her channel. And she is very supportive of the community of RVers, everybody. All right. So there's Camping Therapy. And I assume everybody knows, if you don't, here's a banner I need to have running. I've got it coming up. I stole this from Aaron Jemison, and he scares me a little bit, so don't tell him I stole it. No, attention. If you see someone here you don't know, note who they are, and after the stream, go over, check them out, write their name down. I have pads of papers here that when I started doing this YouTube thing, that's exactly what I did. I would be in somebody's live stream, and I didn't know anybody, but I saw people on here and I liked you guys. And so I wrote your names down, come and visited you, and started little by little gathering a group of people that I really, really liked. And so, yeah, that's how I did it. I don't know any other way to do it. I know that there's once the channel grows, it's a little different. But from the beginning, the only way I could get to know anybody, write your name down and come to your channel. So that's what I did. Thank you, Kaylee. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. So the other thing I was a little concerned about, I didn't mean to leave cats, I'm sure. I know people travel with cats. You would not catch me traveling with a cat, because I can guarantee I would lose that kitty. It would do it to spite me, okay? It would do it. Buffering, I'm sorry about that. I apologize. I don't know why I'm buffering. All right, so I'm going to talk for just a minute on this other idea about some things we can do for our animals. Let me get it up here. Keeping your pets cool. Now, first of all, before we get to the pets, here's one more human tool, if you will. Arctic Air Freedom Personal Air Cooler and Purifier. And it goes around your neck. Look at that, baby. $30. I mean, I have to say that looks like it would be nice out on a walk, or if you're staying someplace where it's really hot and you don't have air conditioning. Tell me that does not look like a winter chicken dinner item. All right, so back to the doggies. Want to make sure that's still up there. It's not. It's not on my StreamYard. All right, share it. All right, I believe that will come up this time. It is. All right, so here are some things for dogs. Of course, this is pretty simple, kind of common sense, and again, different price points. But the idea of these cooling pads for the dogs during the summer. We never had this for our dogs, and I have had pretty spoiled animals. I could tell you, if I gave my old poodle, I had a poodle, I babysat one weekend, and all I got was a poodle puppy. That's all I wanted. I'll take the poodle. Don't give me any money. Little did I know I was, assigning myself to the hell of dogs because she was hellacious to raise. But so anyways, poodle or puppy pads, these cooling dog pads. Let's see what else there was. Cool Pup Crate fan cooling system. Pup Crate cooling fan system. So, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. They have them for big dogs. A large cooling pad in blue. Solar Pooch. Keep your pet cool and comfortable with Pooch Solar. All right. So it looks like this one is probably, you put it in the freezer maybe. And then there's just some more other types of these. Oh, look at this one. OM gosh. Come on. $33. Oh, that's nice. Cooling vest. A cooling vest. That's really cool. That cooling vest. That's nice. Let's see. What else? Anything else? I don't think so. So mainly it was the pads and the vests, and I've known about the vests for a while. All right. So is there anybody else? So let's talk about ideas. Yeah. Oh, you're going to one in July 2, Doreen. Vintage Camper Rally, July 10th in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Sevierville. All campers checked out for Christmas in July. Oh, decked out. Oh my gosh. Priscilla, if you can swing airfare to go to Sevierville, I've seen this. I've seen some of these, and that is going to be nice. Lucky you, Doreen. Patty, go up your. Patty has little dog steps to go up because she's old. Patty, you want to go up your steps? I noticed that she's been laying down on the floor rather than getting up high. See, because I remember I took a class at the University of Oregon when I was going there for oceanography. I had to take a science. I had to take some science. It couldn't all be about humans. And patty cake, yes. And cold air falls, hot air rises. I don't know what to say other than Patty likes the floor right now, and I like my iced coffee. All right. Buy a small, so Priscilla's got an idea. So buy a small pool for dogs to cool off in. Yes. Do you think you could get your cats in there, Priscilla? That would be a fun show right there. Yep, dog cooling vest. That I found that. Was camping once with my dog, and we had to get in the car with AC on. He was over. Yes, so animals overheat at a lower level. I found out, which I didn't know, but obviously, I mean, we've never had the kind of heat we're having, so we can get it up to 105 for maybe 3 days out of the summer, and that's usually way late in August. Never in here at the end of June. Steps for loan originally purchased for my old cats who have passed on. Yeah. Wet towels on dogs. Yes, makes sense to me. If they work for humans, it should work for dogs. Okay, I did find something out that we shouldn't do, and we did it the other day. Last week, one of us, I think it was Brent, put ice cubes into the dog water. And I don't remember why, but I did read about that, or I heard it on TV. They were talking about what not to do for your animals, not to put ice cubes in the water. Maybe it's because they're afraid one will suck it into their lung or throat or something and get stuck. I just don't know what the big deal about it is, but it is. We're not supposed to do that. Let's see if there's anything else. So also I was, a friend of mine has a couple of small pools in their backyard for their own adult feet, by the way. And it really works. It really works for them. I gave a lot of good earlier in the stream. I'm so sorry I missed them. Box Van D. I'm gonna scroll back up here and see how far back it will go. Oh, Angela. We used to get snow here in our county every year when we were growing up. And my little sister and I love snow, but she does love it a little more than I do. She was absolutely appalled that I would go to Arizona and spend time. Because it's more like a big litter box, if you know what I mean, all the gravel, blah, blah, blah. So, let's see, looking for something Dee might have shared. Water, okay, water, and plus fans. You have enough salt. So if you're off grid, to run a small window unit if you need it. Okay, so I don't know if maybe he was talking to you, Dee. You have enough solar to run a small window unit if you needed it. We will, I believe, although the air conditioner in our RV runs really cold. It's really good, but that's only going to really work if we're in a park. So when we're in a park and we can plug into electricity, it will work. My understanding is that it just is not sufficient, even though we have 650 watts of power, of solar power. Once it's completely installed, I mean, it's up on the roof. We just need to get it ran through and blah, blah, blah. So I see that Jill's taking her 95-year-old aunt to the coast for a few days. Oh, well, have fun time. Have a fun time. What coast are you going to be going to? I watched a video, somebody who was on the central California coast recently in Sonoma County, and it was beautiful. It reminds me of Oregon. And then a little further in the video, because I usually, as I'm watching a video, I have my phone, I'm watching it on TV or on the computer, and I'm typing on the phone. And just as I said, oh my gosh, that reminds me of the Oregon coast around Yachats, and another place called Yachats and Wildport. She said, it reminds me of the Oregon coast. It was so funny. Just checking to see what else I might have missed. So Vicki, I don't really sweat a lot either. I'm not a big sweater. Not anymore, not since I went through the change of life. That damn thing. No, I'm glad it's over with. I'm done with that. D was really sweats, only on your head and face. Yeah, one of the reasons that I like my hair short is because the back of my neck will get just soaking wet. I hate it. I hate it. And I have really a lot of hair, and I used to wear my hair long, and the layers and the shag and all that stuff, all that hair is all I can say. And so I'm so happy now I don't have it. I can't say I would never go back to a longer cut for one more time in my life, but I just can't fathom it because it takes a few years to grow it out the way I like it. If it's long, and I don't want it long because I want to be able to wash my hair quickly in an RV. Camping therapy, I get too hot, my blood pressure drops, and I get lightheaded. So that was looking at medical. I was looking at some medical conditions that can be affected. So people with blood pressure that goes up and down. Our father had that type of blood pressure, but nothing affected him. Oh, your internet is out. So I'm assuming you're talking about hell on earth, otherwise known as the Mojave Desert. Was that the Mojave Desert? Now I've forgotten. Anyways, they're in California. Yeah, I know there are, but I don't understand it. That kind of loving that heat that much to be there. Water helps with low blood pressure, yep. All right. Keep your wet clothes on. When they dry out, get them wet again. Oh, yeah. Yep. I don't know when Angela left, but bye, Angela. If you're just leaving now, thank you for coming. Yep, keeping neck and head wet. My son literally had a pack of frozen vegetables sitting right here on his head. Coffee dehydrates. We'll have none of that talk, Jill. I know, but I've got it. It's iced coffee. Does that help? Thank you, Kaylee. So I just wasn't sure about what I was going to do today because I didn't anticipate being well enough to be able to even think, because it's just, I recover quick from surgery, but this is a very quick recovery. It's not like recovery where I can go out and I can lift up stuff, nothing, but I'm just saying there's no pain. So I'll take that. And once again, I believe Camping Therapy's link. Thank you so much, Shanna, for dropping that. Yep. My brother-in-law, who's younger than I am, I think Kelly is a year younger than me. He might be 2, but I'm thinking it's a year. My little sister Priscilla's hubby had complete, almost complete heart failure a year ago, and he's got medications that he takes that are affected by heat. I take my blood pressure medicine, and Richard's, and another one Richard takes, are affected by heat. But it is hard to have a balance with those kind of medications. They have grandsons, little adorable grandsons that play sports, who want grandma and grandpa to come and see them. And I'm sure, I know my brother-in-law, he's had to miss a few, but does the best that he can to get to everything. All right, I'm going to go down here to the end and see what's going on closer to the end. Arthur in Oregon. I remember you very well. He's 58. All right, he's just a year younger than me. Oh, you know what, Priscilla? I think I did take a picture of Brent. Just a moment. Because you just certain things you can't pass up. That is a bag of Winco vegetables on that boy's head. Yep. It made my dad had to take medication because he had heart issues. I think and his blood pressure would drop. Like he would have a pulse rate of about 30, 25, 30 to down to 25. And I think Kelly is having some of that too. Don't refreeze the veggie. They're dinner now. Yeah. Yeah, during the cooler months. Yep, the picture of Brent. Yes. Priscilla, you should have seen him last night. He was in a very severe tizzy. I didn't think about it, but I should have sent him and Josh out to the RV because we're plugged in here. Although I have to say I have horrible neighbors who will call and report that we've got somebody staying in our RV. They did that before. I mean, it's just on my street, even on my side yard. I couldn't invite you to stay at my house. For instance, if I wanted Dee to come and spend a month with me, you would have fun, Dee, but you can't because my neighbors will call the city of Eugene and the city of Eugene will come out and fine me. My niece or my nephew and his fiance were staying in a camp trailer for a few weeks on the side of my house. Or my dad's house. It's my dad's house. And all of a sudden, one morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, this man goes by my window, my living room window. It's a big window. And I knew he was an official. You just can tell. You can smell officials like this, from a mile away. And yep, I know it was him. And so anyways, I answered the door and I said, may I help you? And he said, said that he'd had a complaint from someone on the street that we were having somebody live in a camp trailer on the side of the house. And it's not, so we were staying in it. It was going to be a short-term thing while they were waiting for wherever they were moving to. We couldn't even do that. And he was going to come back within a week. There couldn't be anything that looked like they were living in there. It had to be non-living. So I have to tell you, I am someone who has a real hard time when I'm backed in a corner. The trailer had originally been sitting on our street. They bought it. It wasn't tagged. It was just going to sit there for the night, and they were going to figure out how to get it on our side yard. They went and bought it for like $1,000. It was like I think it was about 18-foot travel trailer, and older. And we have gates, big gates on both ends of our house. We live in a subdivision, but my dad has a nice big lot here. And all right, Dee, thank you for coming by. I appreciate you coming in. I know you don't always have a lot of time, so thank you so much. You have a great day too. And so they had it green tagged or red tagged or what the hell ever color it was, green or red. And my head blew off the roof of my shoulders almost. And so my niece-in-law, my nephew's girlfriend, she was a truck, knows how to drive trucks. And they had a nice sized truck. And so we figured it out. I don't know if I was part of the figuring out, but we figured it out. She was going to go and drag it up the driveway because it was not, something was wrong with the tire, I think. But they were coming back to tow it away that day. And so we didn't even have 24 hours to take care of it. And so so they hitched it back up, and then she pulled it up we live on a very steep driveway, and that is not an exaggeration. Super steep. Hi, Diego Crochet. Thank you for coming. And she pulled it up the driveway and then parked it on the side and then drove through our backyard and came out the other side. And, you know, we have a very slopey front yard. And so she, you know, but I was so happy they didn't get away with trying to, you know, it wasn't a brand new RV. You know, but so what? Just because it's not a beautiful RV, somebody shouldn't be able to use it. And it was intended to be on the side of the house. We just needed to get that piece done. Yep, I'm telling you that so I'm very torn about the house. My little sister and I helped build this house, kind of. We were little girls, but we rode over here on our bikes after school every day and helped nail chipboard and wallboard and put up stuff. And so, and my dad, you know, our dad built it. He would work for a contractor. And so, and it's stable and it's a home. It's, you know, it's paid for. You just have to pay for taxes, which are about $2,000 a year. So it's not super high taxes by any means. Oh, and this neighbor, I'll finish that story in a second. That neighbor who I know turned us in, he's got surveillance camera on the side of his house pointing at our patio and backyard. And it's not illegal. I called about it. He can have it pointing anywhere he wants. Oh, it's a very hard situation for me. Very hard. So, yeah, I was real happy whenever she was able to do that and get that put on the side of the house. And then we get the call. However, because we're not annexed into the city, we're in the county. But guess what? There might be one of our neighbors on either side of us that annexed in, and they're paying higher taxes. They get different services, blah, 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 but we get plenty of services. We don't need any more services. And so if it was someone who lived in the city, I'm considered county. Okay, I'm not considered living in the city. And I got to get my thoughts straight here. So the person who, let's say, theoretically, on my left side or on my right side, the person who probably called us in and turned us in may very well be annexed into the city. And he, you know, I don't know what his issue is, but he's been this way forever with us. And he's about our age. He's about mine and Richard's age. So I don't know why he's so hateful. So anyways, yeah, we couldn't, that person could have someone stay in a trailer on the side of their house, someone in the city, but not someone in the county. Do you see what I'm saying here? City, county, city, county. County seems to be where it's more rural, but in this setting, it's not. And the city people that live next to us can have someone stay in a camper on their property that's the same size as ours, and we get a fine. If I was someone with money, I would do it just to piss them off. And excuse my language. I'm so sorry for saying that word. And I'm so sorry for having that personality trait, but I don't like being backed in a corner. All right, so Rob and Jan Can Van, thank you for coming. And I know you're going to be on another show. Is it tonight? Are you going to be on with oh goodness gracious almighty. I love her. I'm a member of her channel. They're going to be on Van Vita Travels. I believe tonight. If you are, could you say yes, just yes in the chat? And then if somebody could get a link to that, or just go look. It's on Van Vita's page and drop the link. These are very cool people, very cool people, and it would be nice to give Paula all the support we can, and give Rob and Jan a lot of support too. Yeah, Priscilla, our family is not known for being very subtle. I'm learning. I'm way better than I used to be. Way better. Homer Cook. They put cameras on your house, and having pointed to the neighbor's house, and how is Richard? That's what we should do. Richard's at the urgent care right now. He drove himself. He has a right by the nail, right here. There's an infection on the side of his nail. I don't know. We don't know what's caused it, what the problem is, but he's waited a couple days and it's bad enough now. He's got to go to urgent care. Wednesday. Okay, so it's going to be Wednesday. All right. Well, still, if somebody could drop that link just to show, to see it. All right. Well, oh goodness, we're at 12:07. I'm keeping you. I wanted to talk about one other thing. So this will probably please Priscilla. So I was wondering when winter solstice was. I was getting all fancy with the word solstice. So I looked it up. First, I needed to look up, what does solstice mean? I didn't know. Again, I just didn't know. Here's what solstice means. If you don't know too, I don't know. The rest of you probably know. I did not know. And it literally means, Latin word for sun, and sistere for to stand still. So it is the highest and lowest points in the sky for the year. Highest and lowest. So the longest day and the shortest day. So I wanted to know, when is summer solstice? Well, it's already passed me by. I didn't know. That's why I was asking about it. And summer solstice was a few days ago on the 21st. So the reason Priscilla, I think, will like it, it was on Monday, June 21st. The Scots are, which a good friend of mine, is visiting Scotland. He's Scottish. We're Scottish too. But guess what? I'm not in Scotland, Norman. So they had 17 and a half hours. And I don't know how many we had, but we had something. So now the days will start getting shorter, Priscilla, and then we'll go into the cocooning stage and, all that good stuff. So it has already passed us by. Homer, don't do too much, let yourself heal. I know, but it feels so okay. But I'm smart enough, I've had enough of these surgeries to know I'm not healed. I feel like I'm healed, and I still am not healed. Homer, by the way, is the person who saved our butts with our, if I have not, I don't think I've ever had you in chat, Homer. Homer Cook is a wonderful man. He is married to Catherine Cook to start with. That makes you a good guy. There, right there, Homer. And Homer and Catherine, we got to hang out with them in Quartzite, and I hope to be able to hang out with them again next winter. We certainly will not be there before January, because even if I don't have a second surgery, which I may not have to. Dream on Wheels, hello to you. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for coming. So Homer saved our butts. When we did not know that our RV, we have a Class C 25-foot RV, and apparently we found out that the, what are they called, Homer? They're these little, uh-oh. I just lost the rock out of my ring. It's done that one other time. And it just, I have to have it recaged, because that is, I love that ring. I love it. I know where it's at. It's on the floor, but I don't want to step on it. So the wheel bearings. Yes, Doreen, feeling better syndrome told me, do not work on camper. I bet you, and I hope you're listening, because Richard had a really bad broken wrist about 4 years ago. Ooh, that surgery and recovery was not fun. To start with, it took him 2 months to go get it checked out, when I told him every day for 2 months, Richard, I bet your wrist is broken. Guess who was right and who was wrong? And who had to have pins put in his wrist. So, reverse the truck. I know I was saying something, and I should not have went off on a rabbit trail. Darn it. Wheel bearings. And Richard just could not. He has an injury to his back, and it was really flared up, and his neck, as it turns out, is in really bad condition. And scoliosis showed up 2 years ago. Richard's 62. How did that happen? And it's in 2 years, it's progressed severely. So he has to have work done on his neck, and he has to have work done on his thoracic spine. But it's the same neurosurgeon as I have, and as we now know, he's a miracle worker. And so, anyways, Homer came over one day and he goes, I'm changing your wheel bearings. Go get the wheel bearings and let's get them changed. And he did. He changed out the wheel bearings. I think we had to leave it up on jacks for one day and night, and they had to go back or something. But I don't know if anybody in here knows about this stuff, but the wheel bearings, I didn't know that they actually could have caused us to have an accident and kill somebody or kill ourselves. I did not know that. I didn't know that. And so, he is a great guy. And, he came over. Catherine told him that, so the drawers in our hallway where we put some stuff was off of, and Homer, tell me if I'm exaggerating, the stupidest pull-out system. This guy knows how to fix stuff, and he was struggling with it. He couldn't fix it. And then guess what, Homer? They're just in perfectly for some reason. I don't know. The car bearings, the wheel bearings. And then when my nephew was in Quartzite, I had family visiting, my nephew and his girlfriend, and then my niece and her boyfriend visited us in Quartzite. Thank you, William and Peggy, and Jenny and Johnny. And Johnny did some work on our RV under the hood. And my nephew was up on the roof putting the solar on, because that's what was tying us to Quartzite. We had these giant panels that were never meant to be tugged around on. They're not portable at all. They're huge. A friend of ours didn't give them to us. He set us up with them, and we're paying him back for them, the system. And so my nephew came and he was putting them up. And then I looked up and there's Homer up there seeing if he can help William. But they heard cracking and he was crawling down that ladder pretty quickly. So, yep, Homer and Catherine, they also took us to Yuma with them one day for a ride. And by the way, he rolls that Class A down the road pretty darn fast, Homer. I didn't tell you then, but I was holding on pretty tight. And we were all camped together, Roy and Becky, and us and Homer and Catherine. And there was also the American Wanderer, great channel over there too, how-to stuff. Usually scoliosis is already present, but found until later in life. I found out a few years ago that I had scoliosis, not a severe case, 2 compromised discs and 1 bulging disc, but still ticking. Good for you. Richard's is a very severe S. And it's very sad because he has always been a physical person. He is not somebody to sit still. He has ADD, and I'm not joking. He has ADD. Doesn't have to take medicine for it, but and so it's compromised him, and it's physically weakened him, and he does not like that at all. So that has to be addressed. The actual procedure that the doctor told us he needed to do on Richard, he won't do. He said Richard needs a rod from his neck to his butt, clear his whole spine, from clear up into his neck, clear down his back to his butt, right above his butt at the, what is that called? The, it's right below the lumbar spine, which is where I have all my compromised stuff. And so, but he said he doesn't do that. And he said, this is his word, this is my doctor's words. He goes, I bitch people out who do it because he believes it's too dangerous for most adults. He said straight out, Richard wouldn't recover. And so he's going to do a moderate version. Well, he's not even going to do that at all. He's going to go, because you can see where the S is, and you can see where the S, kind of where the points come out on the S, are pushing downwards. And so he's going to come in from the other side, because if he came in where it looks like he should come in, he would probably nick Richard's vascular artery. He just said he would probably bleed out. So he's going in from the opposite side, and he's going to like put a little thing in there. I'm just going to call it a disc, okay? And he's going to inflate it, and he's going to jack up Richard's, that area. I mean, it's crazy what this doctor can do. Yeah, it's a tailbone, but there is a name for it, and I can't think of it. And so he's going to put this little disc in and jack it up so that it evens out and it takes the pressure off. And that he's really hoping works, because he does not want to put a rod in Richard. He just won't do it. And I asked him, who does them? And that's when he said, I bitch people out who do this. And he doesn't recommend it. So we trust him with our lives. You know, he's worked on me 12, 13 times. He's worked on Richard about 5 times. So we trust him with our life. And so we will trust him with this. And then he'll separately go in and do the neck. So that's going to all happen this summer. And there's no way we're going to be able to go anywhere before January. But I'm looking forward to coming back to Arizona and getting to see Arizona this time, you know. And by the way, we're going to have a vehicle to tow if our RV can tow it. Our son is going to be getting a new car. Him and his husband are getting a new car, and they are going to go through and make sure everything is good on this. It's like a crossover Lexus. It's an older Lexus, like a 2007, something like that. And it's got nicks and dings. It's perfect, okay, to just be a tow. You know, a toad. And we will have a car to drive so that when we get to an area, we can park the RV. And people made fun of us, Roy and Becky and Catherine. No, Kim from Rometown Girl made fun. She constantly made fun of me because she would look out her window and our RV would just be gone, and our big giant solar panels sitting there, not attached to the RV where they're supposed to be. Thank you so much. I know, but Homer, it doesn't seem like you're going the speed limit in a Class A RV. It really doesn't. But I know you were not exceeding the speed limit, and he is a very good driver. So I was teasing. I felt completely safe. Short local trips. Yeah. I actually intend on going somewhere I was going to go somewhere today, but Richard really needed to go to urgent care and have his finger looked at. So, yeah, we'll be able to go and drive around an area and sightsee. I will not have to try and figure out how do we get that RV park next to the, you know, Family Dollar Tree in Quartzite, Arizona again. But I was going the speed. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was teasing you, Homer. You are a very good driver, and I felt very safe. I felt very safe. And yes, coccyx region. Yep, it's the coccyx right above the sacroiliac. Yep. Yeah, we just don't want that done. Because yeah, Richard doesn't heal. So unfortunately, Richard deals differently with pain than I do. It's like I have a million pain receptors, or maybe it's that I don't have pain receptors. It's one of those things. I just don't feel pain hardly at all. It has to be pretty bad for me to feel it. Yeah, there is actually Doreen, and I could do it now. We could do it now if we could just get this darn solar finished up. I had made a reservation at 1,000 Trails over in Florence, Oregon, where we stayed for New Year's Eve. Richard and I went for New Year's Eve for about 5 days to 1,000 Trails there. And I had 10 days, I think it was, reserved. And I was getting it right down by where the recreation center was. So it wasn't in the hidden trees and whatnot, but it was where we could maybe have some fun. It was going to be near the pool, near the recreation center. Quicker way to get our dog to the dog park, by the way. Why is the dog park on the other side of the darn park instead of more centralized? I don't quite understand that. All right, well, and I believe this is true. I know this to be true. I'm married to someone who's been hurt a lot in his life. He has had 2 broken necks. 2 broken necks, as a matter of fact. 2. You didn't mishear me. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Kaylee. I forgot about that. Thank you so much for posting that, putting that up. So I wanted to park where we would be able to get to these amenities easier. And because walking up and down the hill is a problem for me. I have, the pain is better, but I have nerve damage. I'll always have now. So it's quite a bunch of nerve damage. And so we wanted to be close to the stuff. It's a trade-off. We would have been right down there amongst everything, but we could have at least gone in and hung out, played shuffleboard and played pool. Shuffleboard and pool. Who doesn't want to play shuffleboard? I love shuffleboard. One of the things I miss, we don't patronize bars any longer. I think most people know I've been sober for 27 years, I believe it is. February 14th, 1996. I think that's 27 years. And I don't go to bars. I have no reason to go to bars. I don't drink alcohol. And so, but I miss pool and I miss shuffleboard. I really did love shuffleboard and I loved to play pool. And Richard is very good at pool. And so I thought this would be a good time to be able to go play pool and play shuffleboard. Oh, I've never played it. I've seen it, but I've never played it. Never had the opportunity. And I also like, I'm competitive. I'm really not competitive with other people. Mostly, okay, I don't mind if other people win. Really, I do not. I'm very competitive and I enjoy competition. And I grew up on competition. I grew up in a time when not everybody got a trophy. I have first second, and third place ribbons because I earned those ribbons, not because I got them, because I'm just special. Because I'm not special. I worked my butt off. I have 3 shoulder surgeries and 12 back surgeries and 2 new knees to prove I earned those ribbons. In softball, and we didn't get trophies in softball back in the late 70s into the 70s, but track and field, my events were javelin, discus, and shot put, and most of my ribbons were blue ribbons. I didn't really want to take my red ribbons or my white ribbons. I would just prefer to burn them because it's first place and second place loser. That's just to me. Okay, I don't believe that about anybody else. But for me, I just hold myself to a different standard. So for years, my mom had to put them away because I just would throw them out. The second and third place ribbons. Today, I don't feel like that for the most part. But then when I look at all my scars, I think, gosh, I screwed my body up so bad. But, oh well. I had a very fun childhood. I had a very fun childhood. Wouldn't you say, Priscilla? We had a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So I think it's probably time I said goodbye. We're about an hour and a half into an hour show. I appreciate 14 of you sticking around. And Bob and Jan Canvan, I will be there on Wednesday night. I am a member of her channel. And Cynthia Pollock, hello. I'm sorry we're getting ready to close, but I'm so glad you were here. Yes, I'm going to see how hot it is right now. We'll see if it was high 80s. It was supposed to get, let's see what it is right now. 93. Homer. I just put my RV right in the dollar store area, no problem. Yeah, we got ours in there too. I couldn't believe by the time we got home, I could drive that anywhere. I'm not afraid of driving it, and I won't be afraid to pull a car behind it after we've done it a few times, especially me. Especially me. Thank you so much. I'm glad you were here. I really enjoy doing this. I love talking to people. I wish there was somebody up here talking. Kaylee, you should have been up here today with me. You certainly could have been, and I meant to drop that link for you. I'm so sorry, honey. So on the days that I don't have an interview, Kaylee, if she wants, is going to be up here kind of co-hosting with me so that I don't forget things, or she's going to catch stuff in chat that I miss. And she has been right here with me as a moderator for most of the time that I've been a channel. At least once I got going and learned how to use the camera and run StreamYard. So anyways, I will probably, let's see, the 4th of July is on Sunday. We are going to be having a family get together okay, Roy and Becky, we will do a Carolina Hillbilly raid. So drop the link, please, and we will do that. I am a member over there too. And he's fun. He got some good stuff over there. And so we're going to be busy on the 4th of July. It's last year we couldn't really celebrate the 4th of July together because of you know what. And in 2 days, one or two more days, my friend sent me this. Oregon is going to have no restrictions at all, except in medical facilities, and that's okay. Priscilla, plug your ears. She and I have different opinions on this. I will be so happy that I already only wear a mask in when I'm told I have to have it on. But I am respectful. I never yell at people. I would never say a bad thing it's, you know, it's a scary illness. You know, COVID-19 has kicked this country's rear end and the world's rear end. And we need to respect what it's done. And it has ravaged people. So, but I'm done with it. I was done a long time ago. But guess who wasn't done with it? The state of Oregon. So grab his link, Roy, and drop that baby, and we will head over to Carolina Hillbilly. And thank you guys again for coming. So I probably won't be back up again until next Monday, and I will have an interview Monday. In my head, I've got somebody lined up. As long as she is available, we will. I don't want to give it out yet because I will cry if she can't. No, I've got some good people coming on deck. Eventually, Minnie Van Lee is going to be a guest. We just have had a hard time. I understand, Doreen. I mean, and there are people who have, you know, potential illness issues, which I am one of them. But I just don't. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm super careful. I do wash my hands. I constantly use when I'm out. I use hand sanitizer. I am double vaccinated. I've had my vaccinations. It's so remote that I would get it. I'm done. Hands up. All right. So head on over to Carolina Hillbilly. Have a good time over there. Tell him Butter, B-U-T-R, or Burning Up the Roads, either one, sent you. And I'll be over there shortly. So you guys, thank you so much for showing up. I genuinely mean it, that I appreciate you, and I love having you here. And I was going to show this to you. It is a sport. I just had to show it to you. Sunscreen, 70 SPF. But you got to use this a couple, you know, even if you've been in and out of water. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Stay healthy, stay safe, and have a dang good 4th of July. And think of my dad. His name was Jim.